It does not matter whether you have big goals, whether you have small goals, or whether you have no goals. You will suffer the same in all three parts. So pick something that your 85-year-old is going to be proud of. So in this video, I want to talk about why we should not settle for mediocrity and why we should not have average goals in our life. Because I personally was a person who used to have very small goals. I used to think very short term, like I just want to achieve this, I just want to achieve that. And the timeline between was very like a month or 2 months, because when we are young, we have short term thinking because we can't delay gratification, and that is the problem with all of us. So I want to start this video by sharing one of my experience which literally changed how I think about setting goals and why we should not settle for mediocrity. So 2 years back, I used to sell website design service to restaurants. So like there was a restaurant in my neighborhood, and the owner of the restaurant was kind of like, he knows me, so I pitched the offer to him, and he was really really suffering. Like he had, like, his father started this restaurant business, and then he's just managing that, but the problem was he was getting no customers, and it was a lot of suffering for him, because like he used to pay rent, and like he didn't know what he was doing. So when I just understand what his business was, so obviously I did not deny my offer, but I realized that restaurant owners suffers too, which means if you have small business, you will suffer. If you have a really billion-dollar business, you will suffer. So it changed my thinking around why we should not have small goals, because the suffering is same. Like a small restaurant owners suffer the same as a billion-dollar SaaS owner. I just think about it, how ridiculous that is. On one side, if you own a restaurant, your upside is maximum $500,000 a year, maximum. If you are just crushing it, maybe $1 million per year. I'm not talking about you're just opening your franchise and all those stuff, but you have a restaurant in 1-2 location, so your upside is maybe $1 million per year. On the other side, for the same suffering, the cost is same, but you're building a $1 billion business. The outcome are completely opposite, but the suffering is still the same. And it literally changed how I think about setting goals and why we should not settle for mediocrity. Because like, let's say I decided today, if I want to have big goals, big dreams, so I'm going to suffer a lot. It's going to take a lot of time. It's going to be very uncertain. Yeah, it is going to be hard. It's going to be uncertain, and it's going to take time. But even if I have very small goal, right, I'm still going to suffer. The suffering is same. The third thing, let's say I have no goals. I'm like, I don't want to achieve anything. The world is very hard. Like if I have small goals, if I have big goals, everything is hard. I don't want to do anything. So I'm just sitting in my home, like living on my parents' money. But do you think that's easy? That's also hard. A lot of, like, that is really, really hard, because everyone around me is going to criticize me. Bro, you don't do anything with your life. You just sit and just eat your parents' food. You live in your parents' house. I'm going to suffer the same there. I'm going to feel the uncertainty. Like, I don't know what I should do with my life. I'm going to suffer for buying things that I want to buy for myself if I'm not making any money. So the point is, if I go out and make money, I will suffer. But if I don't go out and don't make money, I will still suffer. So suffering is same. It's just what we are getting for that suffering. And one of the things that changed my perception around it was, suffering is like your cost, which you can trade for what you want to get in life. But most people are trading this suffering for watching Netflix, for eating chips. Like, think about it. They are trading this suffering for eating chips, for watching Netflix. How ridiculous that idea is. That is why whenever I get in the zone of when I feel like, okay, I deserve some rest, so I just say to myself, Arsh, if you'll take this decision, you will still suffer after this. Like, If you pick to work, you will suffer doing the work. But if you don't do the work, you will suffer the regret. You will suffer with the regret. So suffering is same, but which one is worth suffering for? This one. Let's go for it. Right? And the most important part for young people like me is whenever we suffer, we think that there is something wrong with our suffering. Like, I'm feeling this uncertainty. I'm feeling this, this anxiety within myself, this fear within myself, and there's something wrong with it. I need to change something. But the point is, the change will also cause suffering. So there is nothing needs to be changed. Whenever we are suffering for whatever work we are doing, let's say we are on a call, we're on a sales call, and the other person rejected us or whatever, okay, and we are feeling like shit. But there is nothing wrong with that suffering. There is nothing wrong with that feeling. Like, we have this idea that there's something wrong with me feeling this anxiety, feeling this fear. There is nothing wrong with it. This is how life works. Welcome to the life. That is what reality is. So we must just get used to it. Now, we all know that we get used to pleasures. For example, if I'm drinking beer, okay, and I drink one shot, but I'm not feeling anything. So next time I need 2 shots. Next time I need 3 shots. So because for the first shot, I get used to it. So I need more, then more, then more, and the level increases. Which means we get used to pleasures. But the point is, we also get used to pain. We also get used to suffering. And we don't realize it. That's the problem. So if we can realize that we can also develop the habit of feeling the pain and don't even think about it. We are like, yeah, I'm used to it. It's in my habit. Like, this happened with me when I used to do cold shower. Earlier, I used to suffer, but as soon as I got used to it, I didn't feel anything. Like, it was just sensations. So the early part and the early stage is really, really hard because we have no idea what we are doing. So the point of the game is simple. We must not think that life is easy, because if we think it's easy, we'll get into a comfort zone and we'll give excuses to ourselves that everything is easy for me. I'll figure it out. Let me just enjoy this short-term moment. Let me just enjoy this day. I'll figure it out. Everything is easy. But because as soon as you say everything is hard and no one gives a fuck, you're like, holy shit, I cannot waste my time. And that's what we need to focus on. So the conclusion of the video is everything is hard and no one gives a fuck. So we must not waste this very precious time of ourselves, and we should take that time and we should put that time into developing skills. And if we'll talk about skills, so everything comes down to skills. Focusing is a skill. Doing boring stuff is a skill. Courage is a skill. So in our early stage, we must avoid every single investment. Like, even if you're making money, you must take all that money and invest in ourselves, because we are the best investment. Literally. Stop thinking about investing in crypto, Bitcoin, stock market, whatever it is. Just forget about it. Take all the money that you're making and just invest in yourself, so that you can make more money and take that money to invest in yourself. Because this is an investment, no one can take it from you. And that's what we need to focus on.